Do you need a big budget to get started on YouTube? That's coming up next, you dig?
Brian G. Johnson.
Hey, it's me, Brian G. Welcome back to the channel, and if you want to not only upload, but amplify your videos, consider subscribing. Today we're talking about budget, and I'm wondering, do you need to spend a boatload of money? Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. So I'm hanging out here at Vid Summit with my buddy Nick Nimmin, and we're talking about all the gear, the camera, the lights, and I'm wondering, what do you need in order to really get started on YouTube? Do you need to spend a boatload of money?
Here's the thing. A lot of people think that in order to make a YouTube channel, that you have to get all of this expensive gear. But the reality is, with technology these days, you can make a video with the phone that you have in your pocket. Here's some things that you need to keep in mind. When you're making videos for YouTube, or you're making videos for anything, really, it's important that, like in this situation right here, right? We don't have a light kit with us, right? You see any lights around here?
Thank you from the sky.
Right, we're using the sun. It's a free resource. It's not gonna cost you anything, and it looks great. Yeah! Right, plenty of light. The trick with that is you want to make sure, if you're making videos with your phone, you want to make sure that you have enough light. Now, if you're going to make your videos outside, right, then it's a really good idea to make sure that you, like in our situation, that you're kind of in the shade instead of having the sun right on top of your head, you know, blasting down on you that way, because what's going to happen is it's going to make your eyes look funny and things like that. So that'll save you some money, not having to spend a bunch of money on light.
Man, it's getting real. We're saving you money. So Nick, I'm wondering, when I do go to spend the money that I have, how do I get the best quality image for the money I spend?
Well, it's important that not just the image, that you also think about the audio that you're working with too. Like what I recommend to people is start getting your audio together.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because you can have the best looking video in the world, but if it sounds like garbage, people aren't gonna watch it. Nobody wants to watch a video that sounds bad. Audio is such an important thing when it comes to your video, because if somebody watches that video, they're gonna take the video more seriously because it sounds good. It's gonna be easier for them to consume. It's going to be more interesting for them to watch because they can actually hear what's going on without having to actually strain or make any type of effort, because your voice is coming through nice and clear. Now, the second thing that you would get from there is, of course, if you can upgrade your camera optics, that's definitely something that you'd want to do once your budget permits for it. But again, it's not required. You don't need a bunch of money to do YouTube. The reason I'm going in this order is because the audio is extremely important, because it kind of makes your video look better, right? If it sounds good. Two is when you upgrade your optics, then you don't need the light if you can make your videos, you know, outdoors or something like that, so you can save that and build that into your budget. And then from there, once you have those two things in place, then you can go ahead and grab a light kit if you're going to be shooting inside. But I mean, like in this situation, I like shooting outside. I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, like I personally like shooting outside. It's just easier to do inside because you can do it in the dark as well. So
great tips. You know, I'll add to that too, and I see this happen for so many people as they get really excited, and I've got the money and I'm gonna go to B&H or Amazon, I'm gonna buy this big camera.
Just do it!
And it ends there, rather than just kind of taking this big picture. And that's something I always try to do, and that is the big picture when it comes to YouTube is the audio, is the camera, is lighting, and the last part is editing. You know, having a good editor can really take a picture that's pretty solid and make it look amazing. You would be amazed at the kind of magic that me and Nick kind of do in order to really pull off a nice looking video. So these are some of the things you can do to get started right now on YouTube to make videos. And Nick, I want to talk about, you know, for me, what I think where the real value comes from is not so much the tech, but the message. What do you think?
I think you're 100% right. And the reason for that is, if you have like the best looking and the best sounding stuff, but your messaging isn't clear, or your messaging isn't solid, or you don't even know what your messaging is, it's difficult for people to connect to.
Yeah.
Because there's no real direction for anything. You don't have anything that you're actually trying to do. You're not contributing much, you know, things like that. Like there's no, like, a messaging kind of defines what it is that you're doing.
Absolutely.
So because of that, when you get your messaging in place, then everything else can kind of fall around that.
Yeah, absolutely. Great points, Nick. And the other thing to think about is when you start with the phone, when you start with the camera you have, you can practice getting your message dialed and you can do all these things. Hey, Nick, thank you so much for stopping by, sharing these awesome tips. If you haven't subscribed to Nick Nimmin, link in the description. In this video, we mentioned editing, and Nick happens to have a wonderful video on editing. Check that out, it's in the YouTube card now. And if you want to not only upload, but amplify your videos, consider subscribing. I upload new videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and I live stream on Fridays. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.
Pocket. Whatever that is, you know, like in this case, I have a wet Samsung. That didn't work out.
I want to thank my buddy Nick Nimmin for stopping by. I want to thank Nick Nimmin for
dropping out of a tree.
For what?
Dropping out of a tree. You're like swinging by, stopping by.